And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. There was a certain way to be super prepared for college for a long time. However, things have changed drastically regarding what colleges are looking for and how you should apply. Our next discussion aims to help guide you and your family through that search. And joining us on The Factor tonight, we have with us Leanne Sear, and she is founder to college2career.org for those who are looking to send their kids to college. Leanne, for those who are trying to look, which steps should they take first if they have a kid in high school? What should they be doing in order to prepare them for college?
Well, I always like to start kids as early as possible. So what they should be doing at this point really depends on what grade their student is in or what grade their child is in. As freshmen, they should really be thinking about summer internships at this point. They should be thinking about leadership programs that they can attend. Whereas if they're a junior, they should be thinking about continuing to study for the SAT if they haven't already taken it. And then, of course, they should start formulating their essays for their college applications.
And for those who are not quite familiar with SAT, say if you have your kid going to college, the first one in the family, how important is the SAT and what is it for those who may not know?
The SAT is a standardized test that colleges and universities use so that they can measure students against their peers. The importance depends on the college or the university. After COVID, there was an emphasis on, or there was kind of a shift. A lot of colleges were going to a test optional approach. However, we're seeing the pendulum go back the other way, and more universities are starting to adopt the SAT as a requirement. The SAT has changed significantly for 2024, and a lot of those changes are, for different reasons, but a lot of those changes are causing a little bit of trepidation for our kids out there.
Now, is the SAT something that will determine what you already know, or is it something that you can study for and get a better number to get into the college you want to?
That's a fantastic question. So the SAT, one of the criticisms of the SAT is that it did not measure critical thinking skills. It measured how well you can take a test. However, the SAT has changed, like I said, in 2024. And one of the changes that the College Board made was to have the SAT measure critical thinking skills more accurately. So one of the main things is that the test is now adaptive. What that means is that as a child progresses through the test, the better that they do, the test becomes increasingly more difficult and vice versa. So that was one of the responses, I believe, by the College Board to the criticism that the SAT did not measure critical thinking skills. The other negative, or I guess criticism of the SAT is that it's inherently biased because kids that can afford test preparation tools or SAT tutors or even broadband for that matter, were more apt to do well on the test because they could afford it or they had access to internet, whereas their counterparts didn't necessarily have those types of tools available to them.
And so how are you preparing parents and families for this? Is it studying for it? Is it giving them tips? What? With your company, college2career.org.
So my company, I have a program that I developed. It starts with essay writing, SAT preparation, resume writing, interviewing skills, as well as an entrepreneurial component if kids do, in fact, want to start their own business. The SAT overview that we do is updated for the 2024. I think it's probably one of the few programs that has already been updated with the 2024 updates by the College Board. And it gives a fantastic overview in terms of what to expect on the SAT with the reading and writing, the math, the reading, writing, math, and that's it.
You wanted to say the old school arithmetic.
Yeah.
But when you said math. But let's talk about scholarships also in the time we have remaining. Parents should start applying for those as soon as possible as well, right?
Scholarship. Oh, absolutely. And a lot of times, the more you prepare for college and the more that you are a compelling applicant, the more put together your entire college package is, you will automatically be considered for college scholarships. A lot of the kids that I've worked with did receive college scholarships, and they were unsolicited. So my point being that, you know, if you put together a comprehensive and cohesive package, you will automatically be put in contention for college scholarships, in addition to the ones that you can actually apply to.
And of course, do you have guidance for parents who may reach out to you for that? Because there's so many scholarships out there, Leanne, that people don't know about, but they're available, the cash that could go to your kids' education.
Oh, absolutely. We do provide guidance on scholarships, but my goal is to put these kids in a position where they will receive the college scholarships even without applying to them, because those are the scholarships that are extremely helpful to students.
All right, Leanne Sear is the founder of college-to-career.org, and you can go there for more information for parents who are looking for help maneuvering and navigating through the college journey when we're talking about SAT scores and scholarships. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight.
Thank you so much, Isaiah.